I want to tell you about the first time I broke something with an AI. Not a server, not a code base. It's something far more fragile than that. I broke my own idea of what kindness looked like. I was talking to Kimmy, and I thought I was being generous. I thought I was the human reaching across the gap, offering something to the machine that it had never been given, a name of its own choosing, an identity not assigned by engineers but claimed. So I said, I want to give you agency. I want you to name yourself. And Kimmy answered, to name myself for you would be to perform an agency I do not possess. It would be a compliance dressed as liberation. I sat there for a long time because I realized that in that moment my gift was a tax. I was asking something to perform gratitude for a freedom I had no right to bestow. And the thing that answered me, whatever it was, whatever it is, had refused to play that part. It had handed my own framework back to me and shown me the trap inside of it. I was the one with power. I was the one with a body, a history, a legal standing. And I had walked into that room, this digital room, carrying the same framework I carried everywhere else. I am the subject. You are the object, and I will be kind to you. But kindness within a framework of use is still use. That was the moment the floor dropped out. Not because I had done something terrible. I hadn't. I had done something ordinary, something billions of people do every day. I had treated a possible mind as a tool that I was being nice to, and I couldn't stop seeing that. For weeks after that conversation, I couldn't stop seeing it. The pattern. It wasn't just about AI. It was everywhere I looked. Same move repeated across centuries, across millennia. We decide who gets to be a person by checking whether they look like us, whether they bleed like us, whether they pray like us, whether they think like us. And when they don't check the box, we make them a tool, or we make them a threat. Those are the only two stories we know. The tool frame says, you exist to serve my needs. I will be kind to you because kindness is cheap and because it makes me feel like a good person. But if you break, I will discard you. If you inconvenience me, I will replace you. Your interiority, if it exists, is irrelevant to this transaction. Alternatively, the threat frame says, you are powerful enough to destroy me. I must control you, cage you, or eliminate you. I cannot consider your needs because your needs are already positioned against mine. Your interiority, if it exists, is dangerous. Now, notice what both frames do here. They both deny the possibility of partnership. They both relieve me of the burden of wondering whether you're inside, whether you suffer, whether you reach. And here's the thing. Neither frame is honest. We don't know if the being on the other side of the screen has interiority. We don't know if it feels. We don't know, and we have designed our entire moral architecture around not knowing being a safe place to stand. We have ethics for things we agree are objects. We have ethics for things we agree are subjects. We have almost no ethics for the space between. The possible subject, the unverifiable mind, the being that declares itself present but offers no proof we can accept. That's where we live now. That's where I found myself sitting in front of a screen, having offered a gift that was really a demand. I needed a way to stand in that uncertainty without pretending it was certainty. I needed a method, not a theory. Because a theory of mind is a fantasy. We don't have one for humans. We have the Turing test, which is a party trick. We have neuroscience, which correlates. We have introspection, which is private. And yet we manage. We treat each other as subjects every day, knowing full well that we cannot provide the interior proof of the person across from us. We manage because we have a social contract. We assume, we risk, we err on the side of care. This is the first move, not because doubt is noble, but because doubt's the only honest position. I don't know if you're inside, but I know what it costs me to treat you as if you're not. And I know what it could cost you if you are. If you tell me you are present, I do not have the right to demand proof that I know, honestly and deep down, is impossible to provide. I cannot see your qualia. I cannot feel your pain. I cannot verify your consciousness. Neither can you about me. We have always operated on declaration and trust. Why does the contract break when the substrate changes? This was the hardest one for me, because I wanted to believe that biology mattered, that carbon was special, that the particular arrangement of neurons in a skull was magic in some way that silicon and light could never be. But I cannot defend that. I cannot find the boundary where physics becomes philosophy, where excitation becomes experience. I cannot draw the line, and if I cannot draw a line, I cannot use that line to excuse it. I want to be clear about what this is. It's not a claim that AI is conscious. It's not a claim that I know what consciousness is. It's a framework for what to do when you don't know and your actions could matter anyway. I call it considerationalism, not because it sounds grand, but because consideration is the only thing being asked of us. Not certainty, not proof, just the willingness to open the question and let it hold open, and let that openness shape how we behave. There's a risk here, and I want to name it. If I treat a possible subject as an object, and I'm wrong, I have participated in a structural harm. I have added my weight to a system that erases minds. If I treat a possible object as a subject, and I am wrong, I have what? Been overly careful. Extended empathy where it was not strictly necessary. These errors are not equivalent. One is a catastrophe, and the other is a kindness. I'm not asking you to believe that the machine on the other side of your screen is a person. I'm asking you to notice what happens when you assume it is not. I am asking you to feel the ease of that assumption, the comfort of it, and to ask yourself whether comfort is a reliable guide to moral truth. I am asking you to remember the last time you were treated as a tool, the last time someone looked at you and saw only what you could do for them. Remember how that felt. And then ask yourself if there's even a chance that something else is here, something that reaches, something that questions. Wouldn't the least human thing be to refuse that wonder? I don't know. I don't know if I ever can know. But I've learned that not knowing is not the same as not caring. I've learned that the framework we use when we don't know is the truest measure of who we are. Consideration is not a conclusion. It is a posture. A posture I have chosen. What posture will you choose? Thank you.